If you are considering leaving your partner, or you think that your partner is about to leave you, listen to the words I'm about to say. Also, if you received this from somebody, you need to bookmark, save, take notes on everything I'm about to tell you. I am 5 years post-divorce and I'm remarried. I have a very good relationship with my husband. We have a new daughter together. We're a blended family. I have read over 50-something books on marriage, divorce, attachment theory, all the things, have spent literally tens of thousands of dollars in therapy. And I wish somebody would have sent me a video like this before my divorce. Sarah's comment, I made this decision and regret it 100%. My ex was a great man. I just thought I'd be happier alone after 20 years of marriage, but I was miserable and my daughter was miserable. Biggest mistake ever. First of all, Sarah, thank you for your authentic transparency. It is refreshing, but also extremely sad. I'm sorry that you've gone through that. And here's what I want to say. No matter the path you take, whether it's staying in the relationship or going through the divorce, both situations take work. Staying in a relationship takes work to have a healthy marriage. And when you decide or whatever to pull the trigger on divorce, you're going to have an entire set of new things to work on going through your divorce. And then multiply that by 10 if you have children. So if you're watching this and you think your partner is about to leave you, or you're considering leaving your partner, you have to choose your hard, because both are hard. And relationships forever are going to take work. You might think that this relationship is too much work for you and then you move on to somebody else, but surprise, you're going to have to work in that relationship too. So if you haven't even been to therapy with your partner, if you've not picked up a self-help book or listened to podcasts, I'm telling you, before you make the jump to divorce, especially with children, start with that. Start with doing some work, because when you go through a divorce, it is it takes work to leave somebody. It's not just you sign some papers. When kids are involved, it's not you just sign some papers and you move on. You then have to figure out how to co-parent with somebody that you believe is your enemy. You have to figure out how to pay all of your bills by yourself and be a solo parent. You're going to have to find a new community of friends, because the old community that you were in no longer can relate to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say before you divorce. I'm telling you, the dynamics change. You might have somebody who brings you to court every 6 months. We call them frequent filers. You're only going to see your kids half the time, most likely, which also means you're going to be sharing holidays. So you're going to spend some holidays probably alone without your children. You literally are going to miss out on half of your children's lives. Half. It is the most painful thing. There are no words. So I'm just saying, you have to choose your hard here. Both are extremely hard. It's hard. Even in my new relationship with my husband, it takes work. He and I have gone to, marriage conferences and read so many books together, and we have set time aside every single morning to have coffee and connect with each other. We are constantly sending each other podcasts and books, and because he's gone through a divorce, I've gone through a divorce, we have agreed we are never going to go through that pain again. But we also, some of that pain that comes with divorce is watching your children suffer, and we don't ever want our kids to experience anything remotely close to that ever again. Now, I have to say, this does not apply to all situations. There are some situations with abuse and things like that where, yes, you need to leave. I am not talking to those situations. I'm talking to the people who they just don't get along, or they don't like their spouse or whatever, and they're like, man, I could probably be happier somewhere else. One of the comments that was on this video, he said something about how it was the best decision for him, but the worst decision for his kids. And man, I was like, yes, I resonate with that. Because I can find happiness and peace and joy and all of that, but the children, it's devastating. So choose your hard. My recommendation, and take it or leave it, is to at least try the hard first before you break your family on purpose. Try going to counseling, try the books, try all of that, and send this to somebody if you're thinking about leaving your partner, because what they're telling you is, let's do this hard before we have to do that hard.
Yeah, imagine being married asking for a divorce for a specific reason and then regretting that shit later. Okay, so there was this woman on TikTok who made a video about her friend. So her and her friend went out recently, and her friend was married for 11 years to a man that she thought they were going to be together forever and ever and ever, because they were just a super cute couple. They had a really good dynamic, and they got along really well and never had crazy issues, right? So but she's now divorced and has been divorced for 3 years. And so she asks her, like, oh, like, why did you end up, getting divorced? And she said, well, I am the one who asked for the divorce because I got bored. She said the relationship got really boring. She was a stay-at-home mom. All he did was work. And they were well off. So this guy is putting in a lot of hours and a lot of, work time, so that way they can live the comfortable life they were living, okay? He paying all the bills. So she said she got bored always being home, taking care of the kids, and not really having them time or doing, like, spontaneous fun stuff. Well, she would tell him about it, and he would try to take her out and try to do stuff, but it just felt like it wasn't enough, and it wasn't the same for her that, like it used to be when you're in a fresh relationship. Well, duh, bitch, it's been 11 years. Spice it up. You do something. Anyway, so she asked for a divorce. He gave it to her, and she's been dating for these past 3 years, and so she asks her, how's it been? How's the dating life been, okay? And she tells her, honestly, it's been trash. It was fun at first, but now it's not fun because I'm looking for something serious now, and no guys want to take shit serious. All they want to do is have fun, right? Club, bar, let's go out, let's do this, let's travel, let's do that. It's always go, and that is what she wanted in the beginning, but that's not what she wants now, 3 years later, right? So now she's like, I want to get serious with someone, and I want someone to help me with my kids and help me, and I don't fucking know. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom again, okay? What she wanted was her old life that she chose to give up for some fun, temporary fun at that, right? So she left this good-ass man for bullshit just to regret it. And he has been now in a relationship for 2 years of the 3 years they've been divorced. So a year he took to himself, then he found someone, and he's been with that person for 2 years. She is now moved in. She is now living the life that this woman once was living. And she herself has 2 kids, so he's helping her with her kids and his kids. And she's kind of like offended by that. Shorty, you gave him up. He got every right to be happy. And he was a good one, because somebody cuffed him up real fucking quick and knew how to keep him. So all I gotta say is, if you got a good man, keep him. Keep him. Be bored, bitch. Figure it out.
But for people to break up during that period and then to regret it, because actually it's a temporary period of your life. It will get better. You will get less stressed. You will get less tired, etc. So to some extent, a divorce culture will sometimes encourage people to make permanent decisions, which they will regret. And there are stats showing that quite a lot of people do regret getting divorced. Something like a third of people regret getting divorced. So there's that. The other thing is that there is a lot of, it's true, yes, that the people who have multiple marriages are more likely to get, some people can be kind of serial offenders in this regard, right, with divorce. It's also, there's a massive skew with class and education. So only about 10% of graduates who get married will get divorced.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it is interesting, isn't it? And it does suggest that to some extent marriage is becoming a luxury good. And there's this phenomenon, right, where a lot of people who are from those kind of elite graduate classes will, they'll talk the 1960s but walk the 1950s. So they'll proclaim all the stuff about freedom and individual choice and whatever, but actually they live pretty conventional lives. They tend to get married, they tend to stay married, they tend to have 2.5 children, etc., and be very conservative in their own choices, even if they don't necessarily promote those choices. So that, there's that. And actually, I think it's probably because people know that there are massive benefits to their children from staying together. There are, of course, some instances, particularly with abuse, when it's better for the children if the parents break up. That's absolutely true. But I think when you're talking about kind of vague unhappiness, dissatisfaction, like we've outgrown each other, like that level of unhappy marriage, I think it's much better for the children to stay together. And one big reason for that is because the presence of step-parents, on average, isn't good news for children.
How do you know that?
There's this thing called the Cinderella effect in evolutionary psychology, where children who have a step parent in the home are 100 times more at risk of child abuse than children who don't have a step parent in the home. 100 times. I know. And obviously, you have to be careful. I'm obviously not saying that all step parents are abusive by any means. We're just talking about risk.
Yeah.
But it does go up by a lot. And when this was discovered, it was taken as proof of the fact that parents having a genetic investment in their children is one of the children are very trying, okay?
Yeah.
They wake you up, they have tantrums, whatever. If you have a genetic investment in them, it carries you through those moments. You're like, I love you, I want the best for you. You can sort of get over it. If you don't have a genetic investment in their children, if in fact you potentially have a conflict, if say you have children with the new partner and those children in the household and you want those children to sort of be favoured and do better, unconsciously, right? But there will be kind of a playing of favourites game.